What's up, TikTok? What's up, film lovers? This is the third and final part of me covering my favorite first-time watches in 2024. There were 18 films that made this list, which is available on my letterbox at CM Towns. The previous two videos covered 7 through 18, and these are the top 6. Number 6 on my list is Palm Springs from director Max Barbakow. This Andy Samberg, Kristen Melody, time loop romantic comedy, which also co-stars J.K. Simmons, Peter Gallagher, Meredith Hagner, Camilla Mendes, and Tyler Hoechlin, is fucking fantastic. I watched this at the family reunion I had. We rented a place with a projection room. My cousins really wanted us to sit down and watch this one, and this had been on my watch list for a while. And it blew me away. It was absolutely fucking amazing. The chemistry between Andy and Christine is just fantastic. Their interplay with one another. J.K. Simmons is fucking hilarious. The twists, the turns, the gags, the build, and everything is building up to. This is an amazing fucking movie. And it had come out before I had Hulu, and it was like I was thinking about getting Hulu just to watch it. And then when I eventually got Hulu, I kind of forgot I had it on there. Like, yeah, I waited. I can get to it later. But I really do wish I would have seen this sooner. This is an amazing film. Completely blew me away. I really, really highly recommend it. It's 4.5 out of 5. Letterboxd users give it 3.8 out of 5. Streaming on Hulu, obviously. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's just an amazing film. Next up is 1962's The Intruder from director Roger Corman. If the name doesn't sound familiar, he is maybe the most important producer, director, writer in all of American cinema. Without him, we might not have gotten some of the great living directors. Guys like Scorsese, Coppola, Ron Howard, James Cameron got their directorial start. Oh, and Bogdanovich got their directorial start through Roger Corman. He's directed a number of films. He's put a lot of future stars in his movies, including Jack Nicholson, who shows up in the original Little Shop of Horrors, which he directed. So he passed away last year, and there were people talking about, I heard people say that The Intruder is his best film, which surprised me because I thought we all had assumed that his work with Vincent Price doing the Edgar Allan Poe adaptations were his best directorial work, but I get it. The Intruder is a phenomenal piece of work where William Shatner plays this devious fucking asshole who goes to a small southern town that's about to have their school desegregated just to cause fucking problems. Shatner, this was his first starring role in an American movie. He is phenomenal here. And while some of the acting, some other parts are grading because these are not a lot of them like non-actors, and that this is a kind of a low-budget film, it doesn't change that this is a beautifully made film with a fantastic story and one of the most terrible people I've ever seen in a movie played by William Shatner. The movie is written by a man named Charles Beaumont, who wrote one of my favorite Corman movies, The Mask of the Red Death. But he's also, and one of my favorite witch films, Burn, Witch, Burn. But he's also really famous for his work on The Twilight Zone. This is not streaming anywhere, unfortunately, but you can find the DVD, and that's how I watched it. Letterboxd users give it 3.8 out of 5. I give it 4.5 out of 5. Gone Girl from director David Fincher, 2014 film, written and adapted to screen by Gillian Flynn, Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris, Tyler Perry, and Carrie Coon. I'm not going to talk too much about this one. Just that when this came out, I didn't see it. I like the majority of Fincher stuff, but I was underwhelmed by The Social Network the one time I saw it. Maybe I need to give it a rewatch. I was underwhelmed by The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo because I love those books and I like the Swedish version. I missed Zodiac, which is my favorite Fincher film. I missed it when it came out. When I saw it, I said, damn, this is a great film. I've watched it several times since. So I missed this, and then I heard parts of what happened, so I didn't feel necessarily to go out and watch it. But even though it was partly spoiled for me, it wasn't completely. This film is fucking amazing. They didn't spoil enough. I felt I was surprised by the number of twists and turns in this one, and the acting is great. And sometimes I forget how good an actor Ben Affleck is. But yeah, Gone Girl is number 4 in my top 6 2024 first-time watches. It's a fantastic film that I now own on Blu-ray. It's streaming at a bunch of places, and Letterboxd users give it 4.1 out of 5. Okay, now we're going to jump into my top 3. All 3 films are 5 stars on my Letterboxd, and all 3 films are foreign movies. Coming in at number 3 on my list is If I Should Die Before I Wake, from director Carlos Hugo Christensen. This 1952 noir film, which is listed as one of the great Argentinian films of all time, was originally intended to be part of an anthology called Don't Open That Door, which has every segment was based on a story by U.S. pulp writer Cornell Woolrich. Cornell Woolrich might not sound familiar to you, but if you like noir films or crime films, you've probably run into his work, most famously Rear Window. If I Should Die Before I Wake is an absolutely amazing film. It blows away Don't Open That Door. It's stark black and white contrast. It's haunting story. It's about a young boy who knows why his classmate went missing. But he had made a promise to her saying, yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to tell everybody your secret. Your secret is this nice man you meet every once in a while gives you candy. And he internalizes it. And his father is a cop who this case has haunted him because he couldn't solve it. Only for years later, something similar to happen. This was included on the Flickr Alley Blu-ray for the film Don't Open That Door. Unfortunately, it's not streaming anywhere. So the only way you can really see it is if you find a place to watch it online illegally, or you buy the Blu-ray, which is available on Amazon. But this movie, man, excellent performance by the lead actor Nestor Zavatkar, and the villain performance when he finally talks. There's something he says that sends shivers down my spine. I don't want to say it, but yes, this was the third best new to me film I saw in 2024. An absolute masterpiece. 5 out of 5. My number 2 film on the list is my third Mexican film for the entirety of my 2024 favorite first-time watches. In the first segment, I mentioned Adventura, starring Ninon Sevilla, and in my second segment, I mentioned director Emilio Fernandez's movie, Salon, Mexico. Victims of Sin from 1951. It's a collaboration between the two. Directed by Emilio Fernandez and starring Ninon Sevilla. This movie was released this year on Criterion, and I bought it because I just wanted to watch more Mexican movies, and I wanted to see more Spanish language noir movies, and this film fucking rocks. This film is fucking fantastic. It's not as twisty and turny as Adventura, but it is a stunning work about a nightclub performer who rescues a baby from a trash can who was abandoned by her sex worker mother and that sex worker's pimp who refuses to acknowledge the boy. And this brings her into conflict with that pimp. And that's like the first third of the film. There's some twists and turns, and it's really about this woman who's took it upon herself to be a mother and try to raise this young kid. And there are scenes that made me want to choke a motherfucker. Just frustrate me. And scenes where I'm pumping up, yeah, get that motherfucker. And I was so worried because I had seen Salon, Mexico earlier, that this was going to kind of end as depressingly a bit as that one, and luckily it didn't. But this is a fantastic film. This movie made me want to watch more Ninon Sevilla work. It made me want to see more work by Emilio Fernandez. I love it. This is my favorite first time watch that I got on Blu-ray. It's streaming right now on a number of services, including Criterion. Go see it. And my favorite first time watch of 2024 is the Irish language 2022 film, The Quiet Girl, from director Colm Feore. This movie is it's a coming of age movie. It had me choked up. It's not I don't want to say it's not a deep movie. It's not like a convoluted or complex movie. It is about this young girl, part of a large dysfunctional family, and I guess her mom and dad decide to send her to her aunt and uncle's so that she's not taking focus away, I guess, from the mom being pregnant. She's going to have birth soon, and they think she's maybe a little too difficult. And just the connection she develops between her uncle and aunt, who are patient with her, who want to include her. They're giving her the attention that she can't get from her big family and what's going on there. It is a stunning work of art. I watched it during the March Around the World Challenge. I mentioned it before in the previous videos where you had to watch one movie from a different country every day that you've never seen. Yeah, I watched it in the middle of it on the 18th of March, and it absolutely blew me away. It was the best thing I watched that month. One of the best films I watched all of last year. High recommendation, 5 out of 5. It's streaming on Hulu. And if you don't believe me, Letterboxd users got 4.1 out of 5. This is a fantastic movie, and I just feeling kind of choked up talking about it. I probably should track down and get a Blu-ray of this one, but yeah, this was a masterpiece. And that's it. I'm done, and soon I'll get into my favorite 2024 new release films.